Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I couldn't let this go. I had to talk about this because, and the thing is this might lead into some drama. This might lead into some beef between me and this streamer. At the end of the day, this is one of those lessons that you need to learn where if there's no reason for you to go after an individual, leave that individual alone. The crazy thing is that I didn't say nothing to this girl. I didn't do nothing to this girl. I was minding my own business, streaming, playing a game. I don't see how I did anything wrong. But anyways, so I'm streaming earlier today and I'm playing Mario Kart World. So they have this mode in there called knockout mode where you have to go, like, I think it's like 4 or 5 tracks. You race each of those tracks and then they have it set up where every time you pass the finish line, because it's like they have it where you're just racing them back to back, so it ain't like you finish off a race and then so it's like checkpoints that you pretty much got to cross by. So anyways, after you cross by a certain amount of checkpoints, eventually it gets to the end of the race where you're the final. So yeah, it's like an elimination type race where it's like after a certain amount of checkpoints, people get eliminated, whoever is before you and stuff. So obviously, yeah, you got to win. But that's how that mode is set up. It's a PvE mode. So it ain't like they might have a knockout mode in multiplayer. I don't know. I haven't played multiplayer yet. But here's the thing, though. Here's a little bit of a backstory before I get into this episode. So I used my money. I don't know who this streamer is, so she can't say she bought this Switch for me or she bought Mario Kart World for me. The reason why I point that out is because then it would make sense to join my stream and ask me, oh, can you play this mode, or can you... It was even that. Like, she joined, so the girl joins the stream. I'm playing knockout mode. The girl joins my stream. She talking about, you're playing up against the NPCs, and I'm like, yeah, and that's how the mode is. Like, I'm confused. Like, was I not supposed to? Like, oh, that's kind of strange. Like, you pay $500 for a console and then you can't even play it however you want to play it and stuff. But so I wonder if I could still find her chat messages and stuff, because nah, man, I just find that silly. You join a person's stream. Pretty much she was trying to tell me how to play the game, and I'm thinking to myself, like, ma'am, if you bought the Switch for me, then I feel like you would have a say-so in what I'm doing on, or in the middle of a game, whether it's playing it PvE, PvP, whichever. But that's the thing, though. You're some random unemployed woman that joined my stream trying to tell me how to play the game, and I'm like, honestly, though, sit down and think about that. Do you think I'm going to listen to you, especially on how you approach me? Do you think I'm going to sit down and listen to you? So, hold on for a second. Let me see. So, she goes, so the first message she says is, not you in CPU, LOL. So I think I responded and I was all like, okay, yeah, I'm going up against the CPU. What's the problem with that? Then she goes on to say, oh, it's only one person, WTH. And I'm thinking to myself, again, what's the problem if I'm playing against the CPU? My question is they have that mode in the game. Let's say if I already had the Switch 2, but I was waiting to get Mario Kart World, the game by itself is $79.99. So what I'm trying to figure out is, if I pay $79.99 for a video game, I'm not allowed to play it however I want to play it. Like, that's the stuff that be tripping me out, is that it's that entitlement. And I'm like, ma'am, for one, there ain't no reason for you to be here. 2, I'm going to play the game however I want to play it. 3, you didn't put no money down on this Switch, so how are you going to tell the Switch or the game? So how are you going to tell me how to play the game? That's what I would like to know. So anyways, so I think I just started questioning her. I'm like, who said I couldn't play against the CPU? Then she was all like, who said that? And I'm thinking to myself, based on how you just joined my stream, and it shows that she just recently created her account. So yeah, she might just be one of those people where it's like she don't know no better. It's like her brain, I don't know, maybe her weave is too tight and she can't really think all that straight and stuff. So, but anyways, she goes on and says, yeah, so yeah, she goes on and says that, who said that? And so then that's when I was all like, you came to my stream pretty much telling me how to play the game. You're like upset about me playing against the CPU. What's wrong with that? So that's what I'm more so trying to figure out. What's wrong with me playing against the CPU? At the end of the day, I'm like, that's how, at one point in time, that's how people were playing Mario Kart. They ain't have no online mode. So what, you gonna go travel back in time and get on people for not playing online, and online wasn't even discovered yet at that? Maybe I have to go back and check again. But from what I remember, online like multiplayer and stuff, I didn't really start seeing that until Mario Kart Wii. So maybe they had it before, but I'm trying to think. I don't even think they had that in the Nintendo 64 Mario Kart. So yeah, I think that. Hold on for a second. Let me see. When was online added to Mario Kart? Let's just see. The first Mario Kart game to include online multiplayer was Mario Kart DS, released in 2005 for the. Okay, so it was on the Nintendo DS. All right, so I got my. I didn't have a Nintendo DS growing up. I had a PSP. That's what I was more so attracted to when I was looking at handheld gaming devices. And I should have got a Nintendo DS. I think I might do that one day. If I can plug up a HDMI cable and play a Nintendo DS and then try to do like streams, well, I mean, they might add Nintendo DS to the Nintendo Online, so I might not even have to do that. So yeah, I'm a hold off on it, but still though, it's one of those things where I'm all like, yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see how the Nintendo DS play. But anyways. So then she goes on. So then she calls me out my name. I ain't gonna say the word that she called me, but the definition for this word is a female dog. So now at this point, I'm like, man, I can't just let this stuff slide. It's like you call me out my name. It's like I gotta roast you. And that's the thing where I'm like, I didn't want to do it on stream because I'm like, I don't know how Twitch, operates with that type of stuff. I feel like I should be allowed to, especially when a person comes to my place of business talking crazy to me. But I'm like, it's one of those things where, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to continue playing my game. I ain't going to feed into her and stuff. But the more and more I started thinking about this, I'm like, nah, bruh, I can't let this slide. I can't just let this go, because to me, that's just crazy where it's like, you're playing the game, you're minding your own business, you ain't did nothing to nobody. You come to my stream talking crazy because why? Like, how does me playing against the CPU affect you in your day-to-day life? Like, dang, is unemployment that bad to where it's like, oh, now I gotta go on to Twitch and harass random people for playing online? I don't get that. Like, somebody's gonna have to explain that one to me. How is it that it's a problem if I decide to play the game however I want to play the game? That's what I would like to know. So yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, just my advice to people. If you see a person playing the game, whether it's on easy, whether it's against the NPC, or even I know like in Tekken, they have it where you can fight against yourself in that game. However a person wants to play the game, that doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect your day-to-day life. It doesn't affect how you play the game. It's those types of things where I'm like, what difference would it make if I'm playing online or playing against the computer? I'm saying that thing. I feel like if anything, that's one thing that I'll say is that I feel like when you play online, you get a much more easier experience. So yeah, I should be probably playing online because I know playing it off of just playing it against the computers, fam. So if you guys have seen my TikTok where I posted like how many times and that was in one stream. If you guys seen that TikTok of how many times I was getting hit with a blue shell, bro, it was insane. I feel like when you play online, unless you're playing up against some hackers or something, you don't get that same treatment. Like the reason why I say that is because when I play with my family, I get hit with maybe like one blue shell, maybe a couple of red shells. When you're playing it like by yourself against the NPCs have a arsenal of blue shells, red shells, thunderbolts, the ghosts that can steal your the gear that you or whatever like stuff that you get. I ain't had bananas, green shells. I ain't had stuff on me where that stuff done got snatched because of some like ghost thing that can do that. And I'm thinking to myself, fam, playing it against the NPCs, I feel like that's Mario Kart's attempt at Elden Ring. Like, it is the most, somehow, some way I managed to get past it. I managed to get past the Cup Series thing, and then unlock, the Rainbow Road track, managed to get through that, all that stuff through first place, and I'm like, bro, it's like, I feel like stressed now after doing that. But at the end of the day, though, the thing is this is what people need to remember. I bought the Nintendo Switch too. Mario Kart World came alongside with it. I'm allowed to play this game. No. It ain't even though I'm allowed. I am entitled to play this game however I want to play it. See, that's the thing that people need to understand. When you're not in the same household, when you're in your own world or own household or whatever you want to call it, and somebody else is in their own little world, household, whatever you want to call it, that person, you are allowed to play a game however you want to play it. So if you, the crazy, and that's, the funny thing is, girl probably ain't even got Mario Kart World. Probably ain't even got a Nintendo Switch 2. Probably has to wait for it. The crazy thing is, it's like, I don't know, she don't really look like a person of age. She looked like, I don't know, like she still relies on people, maybe not even relying on people. Like she might be relying on significant others and things to get her a Nintendo Switch. No, I'm taking off the gloves. I could care less how people be feeling about how I'm talking about this girl. No, it's just, I find that insane where it's like nobody ain't said nothing or did nothing to you. You come to my stream talking crazy to me because I'm playing the game however I want to play the game. How does that affect you? Like that, if my thing is this, if somehow, some way, me and this girl ever get, what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna actually unban her from my stream because I would really love to see what she has to say about like after this podcast episode come out, because I might end up doing that too. I might just end up going and just doing like a whole video where I'm just roasting her. Bump all the Mario Kart stuff. I'm just gonna do a video just dedicated to her. So that's on the table. I'm still thinking about that. I guess if I don't say what I need to say, but I still feel like that there's more to say because I'm trying to separate this from where I am talking about this interaction that I had with her, and then also just telling people out there where it's like, you don't do that. Like, don't join a person's stream telling them how to play a game. Like, that's one thing I don't understand. And just throughout my streaming career, the amount of people that want to join your stream and backseat. That's the type of stuff that I will never understand. Here it is, you can go out, and it'd be like games like Fortnite, Apex, games, Call of Duty, games that you could get for free. But they want to, instead of just playing it themselves and playing it however, that's one thing that you'll never catch me doing is backseating in the stream. Yeah, if somebody asks me, like, if there's a friend of mine that's playing a game that I'm good at and they ask me for my help, that's the only time they'll get my help. But other than that, I'm sitting there watching. I probably people would call me a bad friend, because there's been times I've sat there and watched games that I'm good at, whether it's racing games. Like, I ain't seen where friends of mine's then played Need for Speed, crashing left and right in gas stations, bushes, parked cars, all this stuff. I'm sitting there watching like, dang, that's unfortunate. And I think it was Need for Speed Heat. Fam, I beat that game, I think it was like 2 or 3 times. It was just 2 times. I played it 3 different times, because there was one time where I was trying to just play it all the way through and beat it. But no, I played it, like, yeah, well, would it be 2.5 times? Yeah, I think it would be it would be considered 2.5 times. But regardless, though, yeah, I sat there and watched my friend play that game, and there's been times, I don't know how many times I ain't seen where people stream games that I'm good at, and I see them messing up, and I'm like, dang, that's unfortunate. Am I a bad viewer for doing that? Probably. But at the end of the day, this is how I grew up playing video games, is that I had to figure it out myself. So when I go back and I'm playing games like on the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, games that I struggled with, I play these games years later and I'm all of a sudden good. It's because I sat down and figured it out myself. So, how is it a problem? If anything, it's like playing against the NPCs. I guess, like, if people would overall, like, argue with what I had said, and said that because I said, yeah, I was like, playing online will probably be easier. There might be people out there where they play online and it might be more difficult for them. Guess what they have in the game where it could be practice for you? The Grand Cup mode or something like that, like the mode where you're just going against the 4 tracks and stuff, and at the very end you unlock Rainbow Road, and then the knockout mode. Could that just be considered as practice? I'm saying, like, do you see any athletes, they just go out in the middle of, like, yeah, a basketball player, they just they just go to Indeed.com, see a job application for I'm trying to think of a team. I don't know, the freaking Houston Rockets, they need a point guard and stuff. Oh, let me just fill out this job application, no practice, no background history to show that I'm a point guard. I'm just gonna go to Indeed.com and be a point guard for the Houston Rockets. When have we ever seen that? When has that ever happened? It's never happened. But and that's the thing though. That's what they usually do. They usually be out there practicing. There's probably, I guess, like with being a professional basketball player is a little bit different than playing a game. If anything, there's a lot more to go with it. But based on this girl's her, quote unquote intellectual logic, you for some reason just need to just go out there and just play against people without even practicing. So and and this stuff like that where I'm like, how are your conversations with people? It's like just based on this, on that little conversation we had, I could tell that you done got into some arguments where it's like you're sitting down trying to figure out how did I, like, she just had listless like this weird case of amnesia where it's like she act like she didn't even know what I was talking about, and I'm like, ma'am, you came to my stream telling me how to play a game or getting on me about playing a game against the computer. What's going on up there? I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm like, lady, delete your account. I'm gonna probably end up saying, because I made a decision. I'm definitely going to do a roast video on her, because it's one of those things where it's just I feel like that a lesson needs to be learned. When people want to just be left alone, they ain't did nothing to you, you gotta leave people alone, because I ain't did nothing to you. But I'm definitely going to say some stuff the next time I do a video and stuff. So, I think probably after this, I am going to do a video because she does have a profile picture, and I think this is her. So, there definitely going to be some things that's going to be said. Video may get taken down. I don't know. I'll probably have to, if anything. I think, can I post it on? I think I might post it as a TikTok and then go and just post it as like a short or something. But anyways, overall, my word of advice to any and everybody out there, if you see somebody streaming or if they post a video of themselves playing a game, whether it's on TikTok, YouTube, wherever, Instagram, wherever and stuff, however they're playing that game, that's how they play that game. That's what makes them comfortable. You have to understand at the end of the day, you did not buy that console for them. You didn't buy that game for them. You don't even have ownership of that game. That's another thing too. That girl don't own. Do you see the owners of Mario Kart? Even the time I remember where it was a developer for that video game, Generation Zero, they had joined my stream, and I remember they were asking me, like why was I? Because that's something that I would do when I would play that game, is that I would hide out in the building and shoot the robots and stuff from the windows and things. I remember the developers, or no, actually no, it wasn't that. It was the weapon that I was using where it had like a full auto mode and a single shot mode, and I remember them asking me. Like, why do you have it on single shot? And I was flat out honest with them. I was like, to preserve ammo. I'm like, I know ammo is kind of, well, I wouldn't say it's hard to come by in that game, but I'm like, I do it because I'm like, I know that there's weak spot on those robots. So that's why I preserve my ammo. They might have asked me too about like hiding out in buildings and stuff. But overall though, the developer was all like, "Oh yeah, that's a smart idea and stuff." I didn't know at that moment that I was talking to the developer. But the crazy thing is, they sat down, they watched me play the game. They didn't, be like, "Oh, do this." Like, no, they left me guessing. They're like, and I think I had beat Generation Zero. I think I was just playing it again for the because I think I was playing it on Steam and I was doing it to get the achievements and stuff. So they was like, they was like, even with them not even knowing that, still they sat down, they just watched, or whoever the developer was, he or she sat down and watched me play the game. They wasn't all like, "Oh, you gotta do this and this, that." And I'm like, no, bro. The thing is, and if they did come to my stream, I'm like, look, it's no disrespect to you, and it's no disrespect to your video game. But last I checked, I paid, hold on for a second, how much is Generation Zero on Steam? The price might have went down, but hold on I think I just recently seen some stuff too with that game. They was like, they wasn't gonna do no more stuff with it. I'm like, dang, bro, that game was like $24.90. Dang, that game was cheap. Yeah, I remember when that game had came out, and I was like, dang, bro, this game is actually pretty good. And it's like, but dang, $24.99, that is wild. But no, it's a pretty good game. For those that have never played Generation Zero, definitely play that game. It's pretty solid. But yeah, I was like, I remember it was the developer for that game. There was a developer for this racing game called Hot Lap Racing. They joined I think it might have been somebody else, but I think they are considered part of that developing team. I just don't know the exact position that they will hold in that developing team. But yeah, it was this racing game called Hot Lap Racing where one of the guys had joined my stream, and it was just, they were just sitting down talking with me and stuff. And then there was the one developer. He sent me out a copy of his video game. I think it was Stellar Warfare. I posted the clip. He wasn't all like, "Oh, you gotta play the game like this. You gotta play the game like that," and stuff. No, it was like he had a tutorial in there. So it's like my thing is this: at the end of the day, however I decide to play the game, and I feel like if any of those guys would have had a right to tell me how to play the game, it probably would have been that developer that sent me out the Stellar Warfare, that sent me out a copy of that game for free. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's at the end of the day. I'm like, people got to understand that it's like I'm not playing the game to your likings. I'm playing it to my likings, to my wallet likings. The person that bought the game, the one that bought the console. You ain't put nothing down on this game or console. So how are you going to tell me how to play the game or try to judge me for playing it against the NPCs? It's like, man, get out of here with that. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, stay tuned for the video version of this podcast episode, because yeah, I'm probably gonna say some things where people gonna be all like, bruh, too far. I wouldn't say it's too far. It's gonna definitely be some because y'all know me, I'm good with comparisons. I'm like, I ain't said Just a Robot looks like Lord Farquaad, one of his people look like Wreck-It Ralph. I'm like, with her, I'm thinking somebody in the likings of RuPaul. Like, she was like, yeah, if they were doing like a BET biopic of RuPaul, I feel like, yeah, maybe if she deepened her voice is probably already deep. But yeah, I feel like she would be a good runner-up for that biopic. But anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.